In this video we take a detailed look at a 1970s Express. Well, at least I think it's a 70s Express. I don't know for sure, as these lifts were modernised in the 90s and I never got to see what they were like originally. Anyway, there's quite a few things about it which make me think sort of Express, like the indicator goes off for a fraction of a second as it goes between floors, and a couple of other things that sort of make me think Express. Anyway, in some ways these lifts seem like they're still relay controlled, but not in other ways. And what I think is that in the 90s mod they sort of bodged the original relay system, added some sort of electronic controls to it in some ways, but not other ways. I don't exactly know what they've done, as I wasn't able to get into a motor room, but it seems like they might have replaced some logic bits, but it really does seem like a bit of a bodge. Anyway, after the 90s mod, these lifts used to go really fast. Sadly, a couple of years ago, they slowed them down a bit, which is rather disappointing. But anyway, they used to go at the awesome speed of 2.5 meters a second, which is really fast for this sort of building. And they had stomach-wrenching acceleration. It was so awesome. Sadly, they've slowed them down to 2 meters a second now, and acceleration's been toned down a bit, which is a bit disappointing. I think at the faster speed, they were getting a bit unreliable. And even now, we're still actually rather unreliable. But anyway, these lifts do seem like they do have some sort of speed control. But even though I say speed control, I don't mean variable frequencies. You can't hear any variable frequency sound coming from them. It seems like a more sort of simple, like maybe just like reducing a voltage to a motor sort of thing, like a really simple sort of form of speed control. And I know it's because when these lifts travel from just one floor to the next, they only go 1.5 meters a second, and this includes the journey from the ground floor to the first floor, even though the distance from the ground floor to the first floor is the distance of 2 floors. And another thing is, when you run these lifts in manual mode, they go 0.5 meter a second, which is actually faster than what lifts tend to go in manual mode, and the actual levelling speed is a lot slower, so they do have speed control. But even though these do have speed control, I don't use any sort of advanced form of actively monitoring the speed in levelling, because the levelling really is a really simple sort of slowing all the way down from full speed all the way down to a slow speed. And because there's only one levelling speed, it then has to spend an awfully long time at levelling speed. It takes ages. And as well as that, there's a few other sort of weird things about the logic in this lift, because this is a set of 2 lifts, and if both lifts are idle and you press a button outside to call the lift, both lifts will come to the floor, which is rather odd. So it really does seem like the logic in this lift's been a bit bodged with some 90s stuff and some original stuff. And there's a few other things, such as the voice in this lift is definitely a bodge, because what often happens is when there's an old lift with old style sort of controllers and they add a voice into it, they connect the circuits to the voice that makes it say the right thing at the right moment to various different parts of the logic, sort of trying to get to say the right thing at the right time. But it doesn't always exactly work, because quite often circuits come on just at a slightly wrong time, so sometimes it says the message is in slightly wrong order, or sometimes it says the wrong message. But for example, because when the lift goes down and arrives at the ground floor, it does this: ground floor, going down, going up. And the reason why it does this is that wherever it is in the logic that connects up the circuit to say the direction the lift goes, fires this slightly before the direction of the lift in the logic changes, meaning it says going down before going up. And it's like things like this you often hear on voices when they've been added to older logic. And also another thing is, the voice announces every floor, because the voice is just directly connected up to the logic, and it can't tell the difference between stopping at a floor and just passing floor. When these lifts went 2.5 meters a second, the voice just could not keep up with the lift. The lifts were that fast, and it used to do this: please mind the doors. Doors closing. Going up. Floor 1. Floor 2. Floor 3. Floor 5. Going down. And as you can hear, it misses out floor 4 because it goes so fast. At the time as it finishes saying floor 3, it's already on floor 5. Sadly, I've slowed it down now. It doesn't do this anymore. Oh, so annoying. It was so fun when it used to do that. And another thing about these lifts is they're rather unreliable. And this time when I was filming them, one of the 2 lifts wasn't working. So let's first open up the lift that wasn't working. Oh dear, that is bad. That is really, really bad. It's overrun the floor. Bloody hell, it must have been whizzing up at full speed and complete logic fail. And it was the safety overrun switch which stopped the lift. Oh dear, that is not good. Anyway, now we go on to taking a detailed look at these lifts. It's now time to ride the other lift. Let's go.
Let's see if I've got any other two.